Hey, everybody, welcome back to Trek Tuesday Watchalongs. I am excited. We're almost over with the first season, John. It's been kind of a road, but we got here.
But getting from there to here.
It's been a long. We're going to hell. It's. Well, anyways, enterprise references aside, thank you for coming and hanging out with us for the hour and a half or so
Yes.
tonight. And just a reminder, Monday nights is our survival crafting night. We're doing some Valheim right now. We're getting pretty deep into the game. Thursday nights right now, we're doing Civ 7. Andor trailer reaction just hit the channels and doing some Invincible stuff. If you're not watching Invincible and you're a fan of superheroes, it's a ton of fun. I would highly encourage it. It's like if The Boys was animated and also better. That all said, Star Trek tonight. John, tell us about the two episodes here we're going to watch tonight.
So these are a couple of very interesting episodes. We have Coming of Age first. This is the first time that we've had Wesley trying out to get into Starfleet Academy. It's a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly isn't Wesley saving the day, which is good. There are some very good parts, some not so great parts. However, its biggest thing, its thing that it's known for, is the B story.
Okay.
The and I do apologize. I'm getting an echo of everything that I say, so I apologize if I sound a little disjointed. What we get to see here is a famous enemy that comes back time and again. I'm kidding. That doesn't happen at all. We see him in this episode and never more. So I won't get too far into it, but we get to meet Commander Remick, who comes back toward the end of the season. And we get to meet an admiral that happened to be on the lookout. They're looking for something wrong on the Enterprise. And I dislike Remick's character in this episode.
Okay.
But I really like what they were trying to do. It kind of I don't know, it kind of feels like a Law and Order type of thing. And while unfortunately the subject that they're looking for only returns one time in all of Star Trek, it does set up for the penultimate episode of the season and some very, very interesting concepts. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I have an awesome Star Trek adventure story for the final episode of this season.
Oh, do you?
You were there. It's the stories for the viewers and my genocidal captain. Do you not remember that?
I want to make sure we're talking about the same episode.
Neck people. Neck lizard snake thingies.
That's the penultimate episode. There's one that comes after it.
I thought that was the final episode of the season.
Oh, no. The Neutral Zone is the final episode of the season.
Got it. Well, I don't have a funny story about that episode.
No.
All right, you ready to dive in, John?
I am. But by the way, the second episode is the beginning of the Klingon arc of the series.
Okay. Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Very cool. Well, as you see, I have my popcorn and I'm ready. Let's dive into first episode, Coming of Age. Share the proper screen.
I was going to say.
And as always, timestamp and title will be there throughout the episode intermittently. If you jump in and you want to get caught up to where we're at, well, if you're jumping in halfway, you won't hear me say this anyways, but just say it in the chat and we'll pop up a timestamp for you. But if you're at home, we're going to go ahead and back this up. Well, I hit back up a bunch. Say it's starting at 0. We're going to hope. So let's go. Smidge. Whew. Okay, that gave off a vibe. Wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? That actor looks familiar.
Dr. Mom.
Doctor, that's a country song if I ever heard it. The kid's like, I'm gonna kill him. Little nepotism boy.
So that other young man ended up not getting to go take the Starfleet exam.
Mm-hmm. Is there? Never mind. Probably there. I don't know many times.
Dun dun dun.
I wonder what this could be about. Cue epic season 1 intro.
Oh, I know.
You know, if I ever hit the lottery, I would just pay Patrick Stewart to narrate every book I ever wanted to read. Because I could sit and listen to him just say literally anything.
Yep.
Have you ever listened? Do you know the book Go for the Fuck to Sleep?
Yes.
Have you heard Sam Jackson read it?
I think I have.
Insanely good. I wonder what the backlash of a giant ship like that going to warp is like, or if there is one.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
John. Hey, John.
Yeah,
Can you?
I can hear that too.
Yeah. Do you mind muting while you're not talking? So Control D is the hotkey to mute and unmute. See, I would have a big problem with somebody just walking into my shit being like, so we're going to inspect everything. Everyone bend over. Hmm. Creepy. Apparently, very professional makeup. I'm sorry.
She's a Vulcan.
I mean, I get that part, but all I heard was the For about 2 seconds, I thought it was George Shikai. I was still looking at Mordok, and I heard the voice. Why can they only take one? You got to mute when you or unmute when you talk. Oh, it says you're unmuted.
Yeah, I'm back.
So yeah, why only one?
The plot says so.
That is fair.
That's something that has been argued by a lot of people for many, many years.
Like, wouldn't Starfleet want all the smart kids? I mean, he could at least take solace. Huh.
He's gotten off to a great start with the crew.
Oh, yeah. Why is it audible? Good Lord.
Also, it's a trick question.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Because it would be 1-to-1.
Yep, always 1-to-1.
Giggity. Eh,
I was gonna say that's
Let's write the ladies in such a way where it just screams representation.
and by the way, not completely fair, as Wesley literally works on the engines of a Galaxy class starship.
Exactly. Huh?
Unfortunately, this episode kind of smacks of plot driven drama the whole time.
Yeah. Huh?
Aha. We think this is for the captain.
Hmm.
Dun dun dun. By the way, first episode where Riker performed the Riker maneuver to sit in the chair.
I saw that.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. This is going to get punched in the face by the end of this.
yeah, it's very interesting. This is the first episode that Gene Roddenberry was not showrunner for.
Hmm.
Maurice Hurley who he was a showrunner for 2 years, basically. The ending of this year and all of the second year. He was
What'd you say his
literally
name
the
was? What'd you say his name was?
Maurice Hurley.
Gotcha.
He was the reason that there was a change in doctors.
In season 2?
Mm-hmm. He sent Gene Roddenberry and Majel Barrett on a vacation, paid for them to go halfway around the world or somewhere
Oh, cool.
to get him out of the picture so they could finish the rest of the season. Maurice Hurley ended up leaving at the end of the second season. He was a very controversial choice.
Okay.
This is a really interesting moment. We don't really get too much of Wesley and Worf, which I think is too bad because I think it would have been a fantastic pairing.
Kind of agree.
Because they're very much the same for very different reasons. And our first introduction to a shuttlecraft. This was the original shuttle for this for Next Generation.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, until right then. Gee,
Well,
it's
this was
amazing that
my
he didn't get to go take the test
Yeah.
just like Wesley.
It was literally right next to his ship earlier. Maybe he has not done something dumb. Exactly.
This is one of my favorite scenes in this episode. Really shows Picard and his ability, as much
Yeah.
as he doesn't like children. Define a little bumpy. And the music cue used there was actually from the very first episode when
Yeah.
Q was chasing them.
Hmm.
That da 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 da. So that was a Type 7 shuttle. Um, when they tried to build a full scale model of it, they couldn't do it with the curved lines. And so it ended up becoming boxy and didn't look right at all.
Okay. Um,
Love it.
okay. Cool.
I love it.
Cool. I dig it.
Another really great scene.
Yeah.
And I love Wesley's interaction there
Uh huh.
when they start saying, well, wait a minute. And he kind of thinks before he starts saying each part.
Hmm.
This is a neat transition here. They go between different characters. Dun, dun, dun. Is it required?
I love Gage McFadden.
Oh yeah.
Don't piss off Picard.
This episode seems to have a lot of foreshadowing. If you think about it, that scene of Geordi talking to Remick in the engine room seemed totally normal, but there was no reason for them to do that because he wasn't in engineering. He was the helmsman.
Right.
So a little foreshadowing of what was to come. Also, Wesley ends up getting to do something at the end of this episode that he never had done before. And there's only one person out of the bridge crew that we didn't get to see the interrogation.
Tasha Yar.
Mm-hmm. I do like these quizzes, these tests. They remind me a lot of the one that Spock went through um, in Star Trek 4 at the beginning when he's doing his retraining. Hmm.
Hmm.
I really like him. I kind of wish we could have gotten him back in one way or the other.
Agreed. Hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Let me paraphrase John Luke. Hell no. Well, that's hitting close to home.
Yeah, it is.
Gee, Starfleet Academy could have started years and years ago.
Yes, it could have. And it's funny, by the time of Picard, he actually does do that.
Yeah. Hmm.
This was a pretty impressive concept. Hmm. You could almost not tell that that wall stopped right there, and that was a matte painting of the hallway beyond it.
I did not realize that. We're all gonna die.
They need to find better actors for that.
I'd punch that guy right in the face. Hmm.
You know, when you take into account his age and the fact that he was just barely 16 at the time, he really was a good actor from early on. That was a powerful scene.
Hmm. That's called smelling the fart acting right there.
It really is, because that doesn't make any sense.
Not mentioning anyone else. And Vulcan is like, you suck. No, I wouldn't.
I kind of wish that actress had come back.
Mhm.
I mean, you could see a. Sorry, this is worth seeing. Kind of like the lower deckers
Yeah.
fixing up the shuttle.
Uh-huh. If a senior officer showed up to me dressed like that, all I could think of was, "Dude, you're wearing a skirt." Wow, that's some eyeliner. Does he have a dress uniform? Wow.
And then he turns around and has this acting scene.
Well, yeah.
This is great.
Eh. Eh.
I mean, of course, he had to fail because he would have been off the show.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I also wouldn't have had a problem with that. Didn't he end up, like, dead?
No, actually, he's the only one that survives.
Oh.
Aha! And first time we get to see Wesley at the helm.
Algernon, the Treaty of Algernon.
Hmm.
When did that happen?
Quite a while before this. 20,
Oh,
30 years.
well, never mind. I was just like, that name sounds real damn familiar.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look at that. He didn't forget and leave the handbrake on or anything.
Or run into the planet. All right. The next episode is For the Glory, Come for the
Heart of
Glory,
Glory.
Heart of Glory. All right. We are going to take a beat because I'm going to run to the restroom.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, sir. So we'll be right back, folks, in just a couple of minutes. You know, I realize it still says Ready Player Nerd. I need to correct that.
Say again?
The graphics says Ready Player Nerd for the gaming stuff. I need to correct that.
Whoops.
So I have returned,
And so have I.
and I went in the kitchen, filled up my tea in this giant green cup, grabbed a banana off a banana holder, twisted it sideways to rip it off with the stem, and completely knocked my tea over.
Oh no.
So I just spent the last 10 minutes cleaning everything in the kitchen. So, yeah, it was
I'm so sorry.
it's all good. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this. This is, we're still in coming of age. Boop-a-doo-boo.
Before we get too far,
No, give me a second to pause it. What's up?
is there any chance you can change how you're sharing the video on Discord?
Uh,
It's a really small square box. I was having to squint to see it.
I can't because I have to change the window size. And if I do that, the timestamp and title will not match up to the holes.
Oh crap. Because
Yeah.
it's hardly readable. It's like a 2-inch square for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can right click on it and make it your full screen.
Oh, I've got it almost full screen.
Tonight, so we're on our second episode, Joanne. It is the Heart of Glory, episode 20 of season 1 of TNG. We just finished Coming of Age, which, come to think of it, wasn't really a whole lot of coming of age. It was just, do I get into school or not? There was more coming of age in other episodes.
Very true.
All right. So, Joanne, you want to queue up and watch along with us?
So, a couple of things real quick. This is the first episode that guest stars Vaughn Armstrong. He would, it was his only Next Generation role, but continued to play 12 different other characters within Star Trek.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll go ahead and
Dun dun dun.
I like how that's his question. Should
We
we?
didn't have enough budget to separate the songs.
Exactly. Like, I mean, couldn't they just use the same footage?
They could have. And bringing the Romulans back into the fold.
Yep. Hmm. The what? That's a crap. Wait, wrong franchise.
Hmm.
I will never not get enough of this intro.
It is. It's one of the best for any of the shows. There are a lot of firsts that we're going to see in this one. First time we see a Klingon outside of Worf.
Yeah.
We also get the first time that somebody calls out by name the Klingon homeworld. Unfortunately, it's called Kling.
I'm sorry.
So there is a quote from one of the Klingons you're going to hear here saying, "Let the traitors of Kling pick the meat from my bones." Decided Kling sounded too weird.
Yeah. I could have told him that.
The vessel that you see here was actually built by Gregory Jean from a number of leftover parts in his workshop, including parts from a visitor transport ship from the TV show V.
Hmm. Or, hear me out here. Wear a camera.
An excellent use of the sets to make them look very different and alien. And this is neat. The first time we get to see what Geordi sees.
That's cool. You know all I can think of right here?
Hmm.
Hey, Lord. That would be a person.
Actually, it's the stand-in for Commander Riker.
Eh?
if you catch it, you can see that it doesn't quite look like him.
Right.
A little bit more obvious that that's not actually Data or Brent Spiner.
Yeah. Huh?
But the ship is blowing apart. If you notice those floors that they're walking on, they are the same grid that you see in the transporter room and used to make the leg of a table.
He just said,
Which one's the safest? Which one's the least?
wow.
Jordy was brushing up on his synonyms.
Very good, Cap. Good Lord. I'd say time to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, no joke.
Hmm. The core. So now we'll run through the heat and poisonous gas.
I mean, why not?
Why don't you all get out of the way? Like, the first thing I do was not be standing directly in line of fire. I guess I played too many D&D or video games.
Funny, that door becomes a quote unquote Klingon door that you see on almost every Klingon ship from now on, except for it's rotated 90 degrees. And those lights right behind him are from Star Trek 2. That's from the room that Spock dies in, the reactor room.
Gotcha. So this ship blows.
Ruh-roh.
You can always tell it's bad when it goes, when the sound of the transporter sounds sad. That's when you know bad things are happening.
Whoops.
Oh, darn, episode's over. In the arms of the angel.
Oh, no.
Like the first time that I'm like, yep, that's a fair request.
Yep. This is also the first look at the Klingon uniform from the 24th century. And we find that it's exactly the same as the 23rd version, as it's the uniforms from Star Trek 3, including Chorus having the different little patch on his upper chest there, just like Christopher Lloyd did.
Nice. Is this the Vaughn guy?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
These guys feel like very not Klingon Klingons. more than meets the eye. This is called acting. And I kill you, fool.
He's acting more and more.
I'm sorry. Like what? Okay.
First appearance of the Klingon death ritual.
Huh. That seems odd.
So later on, that would be contradicted. Klingons would stand vigil over fallen comrades to protect them on the way to Stovacor.
Right. Hmm. Ugh.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Huh. Say no, Worf. Say no.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Huh. Is that a D7?
Technically, Katinga, which is the evolution, it started with the motion picture.
Hmm.
In fact, this is stock footage from the motion picture.
Hmm.
And obviously didn't have budget to make the Klingon bridge, so they just
All
used
right.
a backdrop.
tight end. Give in to anger.
Do it.
I love Michael Dorn. Oh, that was you. I thought somebody was like
Sorry.
literally drinking a drink. I'm like, wow, somebody out there is. That kid is like, what are you and why are you holding me? Why is the bad man touching me? I'm trying to what?
Confined to security. Klingons don't take prisoners. We learned that in Star Trek 2.
Yep. Huh. Oh, look. A brig that they didn't shoot from the inside, so it's obviously some other room that they just redressed.
Yeah, it's actually Data's quarters, which were a redress of Captain's quarters from Motion Picture on.
Nice.
This is pretty cool, though. They create a weapon out of common parts of their uniform.
That's cool. War. I mean, I don't think that was quite well. Hmm. I tried.
So watch, this is quite interesting. And actually makes a lot of sense. Like, he took the belt buckle off. Those horns that are on each of their boots.
So it takes 2 Klingons to make a gun?
And in theory, both of them get a chance to stroke it too.
Wow.
And their communicator badge apparently can disrupt a security field. And he's gone.
There's some grade A acting there.
Took 3 blasts from that guy.
No kidding. Humans are squishy.
I would have taken both guns.
I was just thinking the same.
Are they sure he's dead? And again, shares at that table that later you will never see again.
Yep.
And the director decided they had never shot vertically in this space, even though there was plenty of room for it. Hmm.
Hmm. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it is. And one that was terribly underused. Look, she doesn't use contractions better than Data doesn't use them.
Huh?
Technically, it's not the dilithium chamber. That's what's directly in front of them. It's the, I believe it's the matter stream. Either way,
Nerd. No.
yeah. This was an excellent choice, though, having him, use the upper level. In fact, that's probably where that error comes from, because originally the director said it was set up for it to all be on the main level. So I bet he was pointed right at it.
Gotcha.
They just didn't change the verbiage when they decided to shoot up on the second level.
Hmm. You? I dig it.
That was a very effective shot there.
Yeah.
Of course, if that was transparent aluminum, it probably wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
And another great visual shot there. Having that staggered.
He could teach you proper lighting. You could teach him how to do hair. Everybody's all the guys like, who are we on this ship with? They say Starblaze 80.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I'm gonna roll it back. 84.
84. So this episode was directed by Rob Bowman, a very prolific director. Um, everything from MacGyver and Baywatch to 13 episodes of Next Generation. Quantum Leap, he directed an episode. A tremendous number of things. X-Files. He directed 34 episodes of X-Files. And he's directed 29 episodes of Castle. He is, as I said, quite an interesting director. And this was one of his favorite episodes.
I dig it. I am not sure. I would list those shows off again.
X-Files,
Haven't
Castle.
Haven't seen it.
I'm just going back through to see any that
Major.
Oh, he was the director of the movie Elektra back in 2005.
I didn't actually watch that.
I haven't either, but Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
No.
That was a TV show from 1993. And an episode of Quantum Leap, a couple episodes of Dark Shadows, the TV show, 13 episodes of Next Generation, Baywatch, Alien Nation, MacGyver.
The new one or the old one?
Do what?
I'm assuming the old one.
Oh,
right?
the old. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was.
An episode of 21 Jump Street. Quite a resume that he has.
The only thing I've seen there is bits and pieces of Quantum Leap. Well, and bits and pieces of TNG, but
yeah,
that's it. Cool. These episodes were kind of awesome.
Yeah, these were good meaty episodes of the season, which frankly is kind of surprising because this was at a part of the season where there was a lot of strife going on behind the scenes. Roddenberry was starting to not do well physically, medically, and he was causing things to stall more than he was advancing them.
Gotcha.
And started having his lawyer, who was a friend of his and who was trying to have some control, was coming in and doing rewrites, which it made no sense. So the fact that these episodes were as good as they were is frankly a little surprising, considering this was the height of the tumultuous time of the season. But we have some amazing episodes to come. Next week's we're going to be doing 2 episodes: The Arsenal of Freedom and Symbiosis. Arsenal of Freedom was quite an interesting episode. The Enterprise encounters a planet where everything on it was long dead, but technical equipment still functions. And this AI starts up to try to sell its arsenal and demonstrates by trying to attack the Enterprise and her crew. Very interesting episode. And then Symbiosis, not one of my favorite episodes, but the 2 neighboring cultures, one suffering from the plague, the other makes a cure. But of course,
I remember that
as easy as that.
I feel like I've heard that referenced in several things.
Oh, you probably have. The biggest part the biggest interesting part to it were the two main guest stars, which were Merritt Buttrick, who had played Kirk's son David, um,
Oh, cool.
who was unfortunately in the advanced stages of a battle with AIDS at the time
Oh,
and passed away um, in 1989. So quite shortly, within a year or so of this episode airing. But the other main character was a character played by actor Judson Scott, whose name you wouldn't probably know,
yeah.
as his name got left out due to contract issues when he was starring in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but so his name didn't show up. But he played Yakim, who was the kind of Khan's first officer, and Joachim,
Oh,
Joachim. It
I
was
thought you were
actually,
saying you're welcome with an accent. I was like,
oh,
what?
sorry.
You're
um,
welcome. I'm walking here.
he he is still very much alive, and again, uh, a very accomplished actor. Uh, he he was reprising a character that had been in the original Khan episode of TOS, the Space Seed.
Joanne said he's in Babylon 5 as well.
Yes, yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
thank you, Joanne. By the way, started
There you
binging Babylon 5 now because y'all got me excited about it.
go. He
Have
was
you watched the
also.
thing on Babylon 5?
I have not.
It's really
I
good. You should go watch it.
I should.
Great conversation.
It's I don't know why I never really got into that show. I really should have, but you know.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
good.
but yeah, so the two very interesting episodes coming up, and again, the fact that during all of the behind the scenes stuff that were happening, I've been reading a book that goes through the first year of Next Generation behind the scenes, and it was pretty intense. But the fact that we have two, 3, 4, 5 good episodes,
Mhm.
good meaty episodes at this point in the season is remarkable. And
Well, what I did just realize is we will be done with season 1 March 17th, 18th,
wow,
March 18th. I think John, pick a Star Trek movie, not the motion picture. We did that one,
hmm,
and preferably not something after TNG. Just pick an OG movie.
okay,
We'll do that on the 25th between seasons 1 and 2.
oh, well, honestly, we probably need to do the Wrath of Khan then.
All right. What do you think? Almost called her Joan. Joanne? Wrath of Khan?
We must do this in order. And, and who knows? Maybe we can set it up that we can be in the same room to watch it.
Would be kind of fun. I would talk.
I've been wanting to
Oh,
watch your
love talk.
reaction to to Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3 for a long time. So
Okay.
we
I'm
may
down.
have to set up a special viewing party.
I got space. So we're going to do 3 more weeks of TNG. Last weekend of March is going to be Con. Anything you got before we go, John?
No, I think we're all good here.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for being here. Thank you, Joanne, for hanging out with us as always. This has been our Trek Tuesday watch along. 6 more episodes, 3 more weeks of TNG season 1. Wrath of Khan at the end of March. Thursdays right now, we are doing a streamed Civ 7. If you're a gamer and a strategy guy, we're kind of exploring the new ins and outs of that. It just dropped about a month ago. It's a trip. Monday nights, we're doing Survival
Yeah, I was
Craft
gonna
in
ask
Valheim.
how that game has gone for you so far.
Well, the first stream was just bad. because technical issues with the game itself.
Mhm.
But it's actually been pretty good. We've done 1 or 2 sessions now. We're going to do our 3rd building session on this Thursday. And I think by then we'll be into the modern era where we're just going to all declare war on each other and kill each other. It's going to be great. And
John
right,
wants to get that game. My stepson wants to get that game.
it's I would give it a couple of months for some more content drops because there's a lot that I feel is missing from what makes Civ 6 and 5 really good.
Interesting.
We are doing we just did a trailer reaction for Andor that starts April 22nd. Starting next month is Daredevil. Oh my gosh, starting next week is Daredevil.
Oh wow.
So me and Mo will be covering that, and I'm doing stuff right now with Invincible. So if you know any of those properties, throw a like, subscribe in here. If you're still watching, I think there's 3 of you. One of you is Joanne. Valheim is so much fun, Joanne. It really is. It's like Viking Nirvana, which is more like whatever.
You know,
Anyways,
I have a new, as of a week and a half ago, not even a week and a half ago, a week ago, a new 18-year-old who loves Invincible.
well, that's a conversation we'll need to have.
Uh-huh. He has actually
So I
he
need
has
to know
already
a
asked
new
if there
18-year-old.
is something that he can do on the network because he feels like now he is old enough.
Give me some details. All right, folks, that's been Trek Tuesday Watch Alongs. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will see you next
Yes,
time,
thank
folks.
you.
Live long, stay nerdy, y'all. I should always try to cue up the outro before I start into that because then I always have this awkward moment where I'm sitting here trying to click the buttons. Have a good night, y'all.